Hey, bestie.
Hey, guys. You got two bestie homeschooling mamas coming at you. This is Gail.
And I'm Christina.
Welcome. And tonight is a fun one.
It is.
Tell us what's going on, Chris.
Today we are delving into the timeless topic, the darndest things that kids say, where we explore the curious, hilarious, and sometimes perplexing world of children's thoughts and words. This should be fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Based on our notes that we have prepared, we have tried our best.
Oh my goodness.
To come up with everything we can remember, and we know we are missing more than 75% of it.
Yes,
we have to be. But these were some of the ones that really stuck with us.
Yes. And we do have to say, just if you happen to know any of our children and they are over the age of, 5, we don't mention these things to them.
Yeah. Just let it be a funny thing you know in your head about them.
Yes.
Inside words.
And as you're listening to our fun stories, remember the fun things that your kids have done and said. Because these are the moments that we want to remember forever.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So from the unexpected to the downright hilarious, children have a knack for keeping us on our toes with their unfiltered honesty and unique perspectives. Let's dive straight into some crazy words from our kids. Gail, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Our oldest, she used to say lasterday instead of yesterday. Forever. I think she was probably 5 to 7 when that stopped.
I remember her saying it.
Oh my gosh. It was that probably is my favorite word of hers ever. And then also the way she said cardinals, like the Arizona Cardinals, she'd say Cardinals.
Aww.
Mom, are we going to watch the Cardinals? Or if we were just watching football in general, she'd be like, Mom, what football's on today? And I was like, It's just the emphasis.
The emphasis, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the emphasis on the wrong syllable. And it was my favorite thing ever. And then my nephew used to call my daughter Lala and his bestie Law. So he had a speech impediment when he was super small. He's absolutely perfect now that he's a grown up. And I'm sorry, bud. I love you if you hear from this. But it was the cutest thing to see the three of them together, and he'd go, La, and they knew who he was talking to. Aww. And then he'd say, La, la, and it was the other one. I'm just like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. And then Corey, of course. And we're still in that stage with him where he's saying things wrong, even though he's 7. The one he says most often is Tamario.
Tamario.
For tomorrow. And then, Mom, are we going to go over to Miss Karina? Because, this is another one.
That's me. I'm Miss Karina.
Yes. So if he says Miss Karina, he means Christina. So if you didn't know that, you'd think you'd talking about somebody named Karina. But he says, Mom, are we going to go to Miss Karina's tomorrow? It's my favorite thing ever.
Okay, I have to point out that both of your kids, like yesterday and tomorrow.
I know, isn't that weird?
The fact that they both had their own fun way of saying both of those, I just love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, and then there was a few other ones that he used to say. Oh, hold on. I forgot about Mackenzie's. This was my favorite.
Okay.
The first time she ever tooted as like 5 or 6 or something. She looks at us and kind of perks up her eyebrows and she goes, I just burped from my butt. Is that not the best?
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's the
I could
best.
Totally see her saying that at that age.
Right?
Oh,
and
my
then
goodness.
Corey says lust in case instead of just in case. And it's literally just a speech issue that he has. He can't get out all the letters right now, but it's still my favorite. And he says it almost every day. Mom, can we get this list in case?
Oh.
It's my favorite.
My older kids try to correct, like when the younger ones say something like, nope, stop it. Because one day it will be right all on their own.
Right.
And I want to enjoy it now while I can.
Right. And then the last thing that I put on here that I remembered for Corey was, I have 2 more. So the little Morts, what are they, like fruit snacks packages? We don't buy them. But my brother does. And so when he'd go over to my brother's house, he'd ask Auntie if he could have an Uncle Knack. And she's like, what do you mean an Uncle Knack? And I go, he's asking for a fruit snack. And she's like, why does he call it an Uncle Knack? And I go, well, only because he only gets that snack here at Uncle's house. So it is called an Uncle Knack. We did buy one box of them before we realized how bad the red dye was for him. Like it really affects him. So we don't buy them anymore, but we had them here in our house, and he still called them Uncle Knacks.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, this is the best. And then the last thing that he says is for Walmart. He says, Mom, let's go to Walmart. Let's go to Walmart.
Walmart. So Walmart is one of the ones that our kids say funny, and it's Wally Mart.
Oh, okay.
Wally Mart.
My mom used to call it Wally World, but she was a grown-up.
I grew up calling it Wally World too.
Yeah. Well, it's because it started out as something else.
Did it? I don't.
Yeah, it was the Sam's Club thing, but it was like, I don't know, it was something, I don't remember what the combination was, but yeah, my mom always called it Wally World.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. Yes, Wally Mart, and I'm not sure where that came from. It's just all of them have always said Wally Mart.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so for us, one of our favorites is Hanitizer. So hand sanitizer is Hanitizer in our house, and it will forever be. We will never change it because it's just, we love it. It was our oldest. Came up with that, and they all said it.
Right, because
every single
that's what
one
she
of them.
called it.
Yeah.
And so that's what they call it.
Yes. So that's one of my favorites. Bug eye. Any guesses as to what bug eye might be? Because I don't know where it came from.
No.
But Noah was very insistent that Mickey Mouse was bug eye.
Oh.
Mickey Mouse. He had this little stuffed animal Mickey Mouse.
Did it have bug eyes?
I mean, I didn't think so. It looked like Mickey Mouse, just normal Mickey Mouse. But he carried around this Mickey Mouse, and it was Bug Eye.
That was his name for it.
That was his name,
That's
Bug
hilarious.
Eye. So we all refer to Mickey Mouse as Bug Eye now as well. Sedonut or Sedona. Sedona, Arizona. The kids were very upset that we weren't getting donuts when we went to Sedona. Yep. Ointmeal. Lizzie's way of saying oatmeal. She still says it that way. I'm hoping that oint like a pig.
That's
Oink.
hilarious.
Yeah, ointmeal. And maybe one of my all-time favorites is smokerette. Yeah, that would be cigarette. One of my kids saw somebody smoking, and they said something along the lines of, "Ew, Mom, they've got a smokerette."
Instead of a cigarette.
What's a smokerette? And what makes it even... I snorted. Yes, we got our first snort of the night. What makes it even funnier is, if you don't know, my maiden name is Smoker. So for me, I'm just like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's absolutely hilarious.
It's funny.
All the fun things that the kids say.
If your kids said fun words like this and you want to share them, please come on to our social medias, Instagram or Facebook, and put it underneath today's post for when the episode comes out.
Tell us your favorite words that your kids have said.
We want to join in your joyful giddiness of all of the funs.
Because it's just the cutest, and they all say so many fun things.
I wish I'd written down all of the fun things with our kids, but it just, life is...
Yeah. Because they say the funniest things all the time. All the time. Okay, so now let's talk about a little bit about more of the innocence and creativity of childhood imagination. I'm sure you have a story or two here.
Kinsey had 3 imaginary friends when she was small. I mean, we're talking like 3, 4, 5-ish maybe. But she was still in a car seat, so probably under 5. Because she was a very tall girl, so she got out of the car seat super early. Then their names were Prince Charming and Cinderella. She called them the twins. And then when they went away, she had Johnny Cash. Now, my theory behind both of these are movies, because she watched Cinderella until we went through 3 DVDs. Like, you couldn't buy them.
Back in the day when we had to put the DVDs in the... Yeah.
Right. We couldn't buy it on, Apple TV like you can now. Thank goodness, because it would just be terrible. I'd have to buy movies over and over again. She dressed up as Cinderella so often. She had so many dresses and the clack shoes through the house. Clack, 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 clack. And then the Prince Charming and Cinderella twins, they had to be buckled in. to the car every time we went somewhere. So both sides, she sat in the middle of the car because she was an only child at the time, and both sides of the back seat had to be buckled in towards her. And she's like, the twins are here, Mom. You have to buckle them. So that was pretty hilarious with them.
So I have to chime in here because Victoria also had an imaginary friend. Aww. And she, you kind of play along, but you don't want to be, over the top with it. So she, I think, realized that we didn't believe her, something we said or did, that she just was like, I'm going to prove it to you. So she marched us into the car, around the block to this friend's house, got out. Oh, she had just, I think, gotten out of a car seat or
was in her booster or something.
Was in her booster seat or something. So she gets out, she opens the door, she lets this friend in, buckles the friend in, gets back in the car. We go home and we have a tea party with this friend. Yes, I remember the imaginary friend days.
Gosh. I don't remember Corey ever having one, but he was a very different play than she was. Right? Like it took him a long time to learn how to play. And for a long time, it was parallel play. Like he wouldn't play unless you were playing right next to him, even though you weren't playing with him. And he didn't learn how to play together until he was probably 5 or 6. It's been a really long road figuring out how to developmentally help him learn how to play. So it was very different for him. So I'm not surprised. His favorite thing is playing pretend football, right?
Well, that's imaginary.
It is imaginary. I mean, he's playing with Landon, but they'll like pretend football wrestle. Like, and there's the bed's, a king. So it's like, I don't know, 8 feet wide, and they have a whole football game on that bed. I'm like, what do you mean first down? There's no 10 yards here. Like, anyways, so he does a lot of that. And then when he first started learning imagination, he liked to grocery shop at the house. And he had a little cart and he would take it through the house, and he wasn't actually getting anything, but he would just take things imaginarily off of a shelf or off of the counter and put it into his cart. That was his imaginary play.
I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, it was pretty. Awesome. It was pretty cute.
I have one of my kiddos talking about kind of the innocence of their childhood. One kid in particular, we go to a large church, and at the time we were at the largest campus, and so they block off the turn lane so that traffic can flow smoothly. And if you're turning into the church, you can go straight on. And if you're not, you can kind of bypass the traffic. And so these cones are set up every week for years, like his whole childhood. These cones have been set up every Saturday and every Sunday, every time we were at church. And so one time, not too long ago, my sweet innocent one says, man, this road has been under construction for as long as I can remember. And David and I just busted up laughing because we're like, this is not construction, son.
This is event parking.
This is event parking. This is taken down. And it's not like that was the only time of the week that we traveled that road. We would travel it often to go to other places. Right. But it
didn't dawn.
It didn't. And it was the sweetest thing. I think it was so sweet because he was a little bit older too. Yeah. And you're like, oh, you're still my sweet little innocent one.
You're like, oh, the church put those delineators there, babe.
Yeah. And you know this
I do know
because she used to do that.
I used to do that for the parking lot for a long time. Many
goodness.
Years.
So then my other funny story about the same kid, funny Innocence. He was much younger this time though, much younger. We were going to an event at a different church, but it was a Christmas event and Santa was there. And the kids were all sitting down, and I think he read the Christmas story to them, and then he had them come up one at a time, and he was going to give them a little gift, and they were going to sit on his lap and tell them what they want for Christmas. But they weren't just like whispering it in his ear. They were like announcing it to everybody. And I think that was so the parents could hear, right? So my sweet little innocent one says, I don't think I can say it. Okay. I crack up every time. He says that Santa, what would you like for Christmas? And he says, for everyone to perish. And And the room goes silent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did my kid just say? And so Santa calmly looks at, what was that? What do you want for Christmas? And he goes, I want for everyone to perish. And when he said it the second time, you can like feel the panic in the room because everyone thinks he is saying that he wants everyone to die.
Right.
And I'm
like, what is going on with this psycho kid?
Goodness. And so the Santa visibly is confused now. And so I think he registered that he was saying something wrong. And so he starts, John 3:16. And he says the verse.
Elaborates.
For everyone not to perish and have everlasting life. So he forgot the very important word, not. Cracks me up he's like, every time I say that, he's like, Mom.
It's truth, and it was still cute.
I'm never going to forget it. I don't think he will either.
Oh my gosh. The other thing too about Corey, I think that's innocent of childhood, is that like if okay, so this might be TMI, just go with it. Landon walking through the kitchen or something, he might tap me on the tush or something of that nature, right? Nothing crazy, but y'all know what it looks like. And my son will...
Good for the kids to see that their parents love each other.
Affectionate, sure. Yeah. And so Corey will come up behind and do the same thing. Because, Dad did it, so I should do it, right? And I'm like, no, it's a different situation. So we had to kind of nix that for a bit because Corey in his innocence doesn't quite understand. Yeah. But oh my Lanta, that was probably one of my favorite things with him.
I can picture your face the first time you did it. Like, wait, what just happened? What's happening right now?
No, don't do that.
Where did you get that from? Oh, thanks, Landon.
Yep.
That's awesome. Love it. Kids certainly have a way of finding magic in the mundane, don't they? Maybe we can share some stories here of the funny things that kids do.
That make us scratch our head and say,
yes.
The things are you doing?
Because they do that all the time, right? All the time.
Here's one that is not about my kid.
Uh-oh.
It is about Christina's kid. Okay. And this happened not too long ago. I think it was in the summer-ish, but...
Well, it was because of the puppy.
Oh, that's
right.
And the puppy
is 6 months old, so it couldn't have been more than 4 months ago.
Yeah. So, there you go. So the thing about it is though, when you have kids and the youngest one tends to regress a little bit when they bring home a baby. Well, Christina's little one has regressed, just like she had regressed a little bit because of the puppy.
If you ever decide to bring home a puppy, just know.
Yeah.
It's the same
and
thing.
And her youngest is pretty small still. So, but my son and her are besties, literal besties. And which is funny though, because her second oldest is the same age as my son, but he is besties with her youngest. And they're outside playing in the backyard. And I'm over at Christina's and we're doing work for homeschool things. And I look over, I see out of the corner of my eye. I see her daughter squatting in the backyard. And then all of a sudden I see her pull up her pants. And I'm like,
what just happened?
And I say to Chris, I look over and I go, I'm pretty sure your kid just peed in the backyard.
Which, I mean, okay. We know plenty of friends that their boys pee in the backyard. Because
Corey pees at, when he's swimming and, when he goes to our homeschool pool parties and stuff, we always ask.
Yep.
If we can do a bush wee. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another thing. That's a word that just came to me.
A bush wee.
Yeah. when he has to pee really, really bad and we aren't near a bathroom, it's called a bush wee because that's what Bluey calls it. Anyways.
Yes.
But, we always ask.
It's different for the boys because you can do that discreetly.
Right.
The girls, we always find a bathroom.
Right.
We just always do.
Yeah. Unless you're camping and there's a thing.
Right. But, unless you're Lizzie and you have a puppy who pees in the backyard.
And so now you have to.
Yes. And she was it was funny because, I called her in and I'm like, she goes, I peed in the backyard. There was
no nothing about it.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That dog does it. Yes. Yes. That we had to have that conversation of how we are girls and we cannot pee in the backyard just because.
Right. It's not sanitary.
No.
For all your
not.
girl parts.
Let's not do that. I mean, she was under the trampoline.
She was.
So, I mean.
She was concealed.
Ish.
To a point.
I don't know, ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What is happening
I
right
just
now?
can't believe I caught it like out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what is happening?
We would have never known if you wouldn't have seen it. Who knows if she had done it before
if she
that?
she could have still been doing it. That's hilarious. So
Isn't
this
it?
girl,
oh my goodness.
and then she comes in and she's got this like, what are you talking about face?
Yeah, like what's the big deal? Yeah. So funny.
I love it.
So funny.
And then I do have one for my kid too. Actually, I have a couple. When he is in the store, any store, whether it's Fry's or the mall or Marshall's or something, if there is a groovy song on, the kid's got gyrations. Like he will stop in the middle of wherever he's walking and dance it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he could have been on Grey's Anatomy and danced it out with Meredith and Sandra Oh.
That's hilarious.
Oh my Lanta.
Okay, so did he do that when he was younger too and like still sitting in the cart?
He did some, but it's really more as he's gotten older, which is even funnier in my opinion.
That's awesome.
It's really kind of hit him in the 6, 7 age. The thing that he liked a lot was he catches on to commercials and stuff really quickly. And because he's really good at sound bites. Like he picks out sound bites and repeats them over and over and over again. Well, Fry's store or Kroger, if that's where you are, or Smith's or, that family of chain. They had a commercial on with these little, they look like claymation animation situation. And they were using the song is low, 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 that lowrider song. And the people, the animations would like get lower and lower because the prices were getting lower and lower. So as we would walk in and Corey would see these animations up on the posters, like hanging over the dairy section or over the produce or whatever. And he'd be like, low, 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 low.
That's when you know your advertising is
It's
working.
Right? When your like 3 or 4 year old is like quoting it. And then he did like if you can visualize this, you know how when you hear the low, low, like your body starts to get lower, he would do that in the cart. Like his body would start to get low, 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 low. And I'm like,
cute.
You're hilarious right now.
That's cute.
And then he would call Fry's Lolo's. Before he knew it was Fry's. He'd be like, Mom, are we going to Lolo's?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
He's
very
else,
cute.
That one.
Okay, so kind of along that same line, I have one who sings in the shower.
Okay.
He doesn't do it every time, but he does it often. And he doesn't just sing in the shower. He like belts out in the shower, and it's always Christmas songs.
That's hilarious.
All year long. If he is singing in the shower, he is singing Christmas songs at the top of his lungs, clueless to the fact that anybody around can hear him. It's pretty awesome. Like, please keep doing that forever because
hilarious.
It makes me smile. And as he's getting older, he is doing it less and less. Which makes me a little sad, but
you should record one like
I
outside
did.
the door.
I did.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, you got to have it.
I did. I
have
probably
it.
several times.
Yeah.
And of course there's no video from outside, but you
Yeah.
can hear the music in the
And
background.
I think that's hard for me with Mackenzie versus Corey is we didn't have video phones, like video cameras, phone cameras when she was small. What did they say? The first iPhone came out in 2008 or something. And I mean, at that point she was already 5. So there was so much that, we didn't get on camera or video or whatever for her that we have got. There was one things for Corey. I remember with her, she wanted me to put lipstick on her, when I was getting ready for church or something. And we have that Landon ended up getting a picture of it, but it's me putting a little bit of lip gloss on her. And she was we were in the apartment. So she was under 4. She was 2, I would imagine. And she was so little. She was so cute. And that's probably, I was like, And then I think we have one video of her dancing in her room with the Cinderella things from like the crease of the door, you know, so she doesn't know you're there. Because when they know you're there, they stop doing the cute things. I think the thing that made me scratch my head the most about her was when she kept writing her name on stuff. Oh. Do you remember that?
I do.
She wrote her name really small, but on like a bed skirt.
Uh-huh.
And then she like dug it into my bathroom drawer. And then she wrote it with marker or something on the back of my bathroom door. And she was small enough to like be learning how to spell her name, but I would find her name written on the most freaking random places.
I have a funny story about that one too. Okay. So I had a kiddo who wrote all over the couch.
Oh.
And, you know, it was drawings and scribbles, and the particular kid in question said it wasn't him and blamed a sibling. And, you know, at the time it was like, well, which one was it? They were close enough in age. Was it really the sibling? Was it really him? And I kind of went, I don't even know how to tell. So I kind of lectured them both. We don't write on furniture, you know, whatever. And then the lecture is over and the kid got up and underneath where he was sitting was his name.
Oh,
he wrote his name smack dab in the middle of the couch and then said it wasn't him.
That's hilarious.
So, yes.
Corey did that once.
I remember.
So we can't leave permanent markers down anywhere where his eyeballs can see them. Even still to this day, it freaks me out. So we had a party or something, like bunko or something at my house.
That's why you knew that marker was mine when I got here today.
Yeah, because I don't keep any of them out in my house. I
dropped a marker out of my purse and I was like, wait, is that mine? Is that yours? And she's like, nope, it's not mine.
Yeah. Mine are up in a cabinet. Like he doesn't know where they are. And I come out into our like play area for him in the front room and he has drawn on my tile on his, like he has this purple table that he sits at. It's like kid size, and on his animals and on his Paw Patrol tower and on and inside of the TV credenza.
Did he even like trace his hand at something?
Traced his hand on the TV credenza and then wrote his name on the Paw Patrol thing where the cars park. He wrote Jones and I'm like, dude. And then he traced the crosses on my wall, traced around the crosses, and then started at the very top of one of the crosses and came all the way down the wall to the bottom. And I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I had to call my husband and be like, you need to calm me down right now because I'm about to lose it.
Can we all just take a second to awe over the fact that he wrote his last name on something?
Yeah.
Because that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was probably 6, 5.
It doesn't seem like it was too terribly long ago. I remember that day.
Oh my God. I have a video of it, you guys. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, no. And even now, I still notice that there is some on. So I have this big cross that my brother made me. It's got 3 ropes on it, and it's got a Bible verse from Ecclesiastes on it. It says
the 3 cords
the 3 cords shall not easily be broken. And then it has like these really cool metal letters for mine and Landon's name. And I noticed the other day that there is marker on the G. And I'm like, oh, I missed that when he did this. I have to figure out how to get it off the metal letter. Because he did it on the wood too, but it's on the side, so you can't see it quite as much. But oh, Lord Jesus in heaven. There was so much permanent marker. And Landon's like, where did he get it from? And I was like, it had to have either been sitting on the counter from where we kept the cups, which is, you know, you leave a marker out for them to mark them, or I put it in the drawer just to put it away and didn't put it like away. Ugh. Kids, man.
Yep.
That one was hard for me. That one was hard for me. I was trying not to lose my shenanigans.
Yep. But now that it's all cleaned up and everything's back to normal, it's like, oh, okay.
Well, it's kind of not back to normal. If you open those credenza doors, it's still on the inside. On there? And on his purple table, it won't come off.
Okay, well, now that it's, you know, where nobody else can notice.
Unnoticeable by the naked eye. Yeah. You can laugh about it now, but I was just like, dude. So we have had so many conversations about if you're going to use marker, it has to be on paper. Like even if he gets it out and has paper with him, I was like, on paper.
I had one of my kids, and I can't even remember, you probably remember, that constantly wrote on themselves over and over and over and over. Like to the point where you even like...
Wasn't it DJ?
Was it?
Or it was either DJ or Ben.
Maybe. I don't remember. But I remember you're like, man, that is not good for you. Like at some point you have put too much ink
in your skin.
That is soaking into your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, they draw little fake tattoos.
Kenzie did the same thing when she was small.
All the time. And they all do it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there
was one that I was like all the time.
That is fun. I don't think it wasn't Noah.
It would be funny if it was DJ because he's the one that wrote this name on the couch.
Right? Oh, man. These kids, guys.
I know. I love it.
I hope you have fun stories to share because we want to hear them all. We want to hear them all.
Absolutely. It's these moments of innocence and genuine curiosity that remind us to cherish the joy of childhood. Whether it's pondering the secrets of the universe or simply marveling at the wonders of everyday life, kids truly do say the darndest things.
Yeah, they do.
They do. They keep us
on
laughing and on our toes all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes. If I could give you one piece of advice, write these things down. Find a way to remember these because one day you'll get to share these fun stories with their families and kind of add in what their own kids are doing. So write them down, remember them. Don't let time
get away.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
All right, guys.
Walk down memory lane.
Right? I'm all verklempt now. But if you guys enjoyed this, if you enjoy our podcast, we are so grateful for you being here. And we would love it if you would review our podcast and become subscribers and give us a rating. It helps the podcast get out there to all the people. And we just want to make sure that this gets to whoever it needs to get to. And we're so grateful for all of you guys. And we're going to have Christina close us out.
Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the blessing that are our children. Thank you for entrusting us with these amazing little ones. Help us to be the moms that they need us to be, the mom that you created us to be. And just help us to cherish every moment that we have with them and to remember the fun times, even on the hard days. Pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. All right. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Hey, bestie.